What's up, sports bettors? I have the greatest NFL bet for week 3. What is the game we're looking at? Well, of course it's going to be Chiefs Colts. So I'm not going to touch the Chiefs money line, although after week 2, you probably want to be on the Chiefs in this game, but regardless, the play I have is actually going to be in the total points market. So we'll take a look at that here in a sec. But long story short, unsurprisingly, the Chiefs are pretty big favorites in this game. They're best offered at minus 275 on WynnBET Sportsbook. And then the best price you can get on the Colts is plus 250 on PointsBet or Resorts World Bet. And that's in my location, right? As you go to different states, there will be different sports books. So here you can see, for example, if you're in Canada, you can also get minus 275 money line on the Chiefs on BWin. So as a sharp better, literally sports betting 101 is for any bet you place, you have to be getting the best possible odds, right? My background is I previously worked as a quantitative trader on Wall Street. So a lot of focus on price, right? A lot of focus is on price. And all that the sharp sports bettors, the people who do this full time for a living, care about is the odds they're getting, right? They'll bet on the Colts at a certain price and they'll bet on the Chiefs at a certain price. It's all about making sure you're getting advantageous odds, right? So for example, given that no other sportsbook is giving us better than plus 250 on the Colts, if you told me, hey, you can bet the Colts money line at plus 350, I would do that in a heartbeat. Granted, they looked terrible last week, but if you were to give me plus 350 when no other sportsbook's giving us better than plus 250, it's just a no-brainer bet, right? It's a rational bet. If you were able to get plus 350 on the Colts, no other bookmaker is giving you better than plus 250, you would be foolish not to take it, right? You could literally arb out of it if you wanted to with the Chiefs money line. But regardless, being data-driven, being price conscious is really what OddsJam is all about. If you're new to this channel, right? There's no fluff, there's no BS, there's no we saw Patrick Mahomes on TikTok and here's what we think. No, it's all data, it's all math, and it's helping you understand the strategies that people who bet on sports full time, do it for a living and make a lot of money off it, like myself, how you actually do that and do that consistently in the long run and have an edge, right? So anyways, the bet I have in this game is going to be on FanDuel Sportsbook, and I ended up hammering the total. So I'm on the over 48.5 points. So if we go back to the total points market, and you can see here's my bet on FanDuel for $400, minus 110 odds. Okay, that's the bet I'm going with. So again, as a sharp better, like you can see all my bets here, my goal is to place as many positive EV bets as I can, kind of on a daily basis, right? We have WVU minus 2.5, Iowa State money line, Cincinnati minus 16.5. Anywhere I can find an edge in my bets, I'm placing the bet, right? Baseball, basketball, college football, pro football, whatever, right? Like you'll notice in my settled bets, there's some promotions, there's some player props. Here we had our huge bet on Falcons Rams over 46.5, 27.45. That was a cash. Jags plus 2.5 against the Colts last week. Tons of different sports, and not every bet wins, but as a positive EV better, right? Because every single one of your bets has an edge over the sportsbook, you're guaranteed to win in the long run. So what do we mean by that? Well, just take a look at the odds, right? We were able to bet on FanDuel over 48.5 points in this game at minus 110 odds. DraftKings is pricing this at minus 135, right? Because every sportsbook has different odds from one another, you can essentially, treat each sportsbook as an independent data point of what the odds should be set at, right? Bet365 pricing the over 48.5 at minus 133. DraftKings minus 135, CoolBet minus 125, right? Most sportsbooks have the total higher, right? There are sportsbooks with the total at 50, including DraftKings, which is a 1.5 better than on FanDuel. So if you're, a little confused why that matters so much, This is kind of a good way that I like to think about it and explain it to new sports bettors, and what helped me kind of initially understand how I could bet on sports and make a significant amount of money, right? Is when you're betting at minus 110 juice, which you can see is kind of the typical juice that sportsbooks charge. Bet 11 to win back 10. So when you're betting at minus 110 juice, you need to win 52.4% of your bets to break even. Okay, so if you're winning 55% of your bets, which is, kind of what sharp professional people who do this full time for a living, that's what they aim for, winning 55% of their bets on spreads and totals, you're making money in the long run, right? If you're winning 50% of the time, like the average recreational bettor, you have no skill set, right? You're just winning 50% of the time. So, you're losing money in the long run. And you literally can't be worse than 50%, right? 50% for an over-under, like the game goes over or under every time. So if you were blindly picking over or under, you'd hit it 50% of the time, right? So that difference between literally blindly placing a bet on the over-under or, winning 55% of the time, so having a 5% higher advantage, is, all the difference between going broke sports betting and consistently beating the sports books. So why do we like this over 48.5 so much? Well, just look at the value, right? Being able to find these spots where you're getting a total, kind of a 1.5, 2 points lower than the rest of the betting market is literally how you make money, right? If there's 49 points in the game, we're winning our over 48.5 on FanDuel. We're losing on every other sportsbook except Fox Bet, right? Where they have the main line at minus 110, minus 110 juice, right? So if there's 49 points in the game, which is a kind of a key number in football, right? That's 7 touchdowns is 49 points. We're winning our over on FanDuel. Everyone else is losing. So when you think about how to increase your win probability on spreads and totals from 50 to 55%, it's really about finding these spots with value by comparing bookmaker odds ruthlessly throughout the market and finding discrepancies, right? And also you can see this minus 110, it's an arbitrage bet to the Betfair exchange and Pinnacle, right? You can bet the over 48.5, bet $110 to win 100 back. And then on the Betfair exchange and Pinnacle, there will be a full video about arbitrage betting at the end of this video. But you can bet, $100 on the under to win 116 in profit. So long story short, this bet is super good. So 3.78% profit margin, $400 stake. I ended up going in on it. Again, I've been tracking my profit and loss on all these YouTube plays for the past week or so. And we're currently up 2.3K, so hopefully we can keep it going. Again, we're not going to win every day as a positive EV bettor, but if you tail all the bets on this channel, trust me, you're going to make money. And I do put all my hard-earned money on this, like you can see right here. All these bets are settled. Like these bets, I place myself. I have very high confidence in them and that the bets have an edge. And I know I'm going to make money in the long run, so it's really just if you join me in that journey. And then kind of the final thing I'd like to mention is just like when you're placing bets, with let's say a 3.5% profit margin. So this bet had a 3.78% profit margin, but let's assume your average bet has a 3.5% profit margin. Let's assume your unit size is $50 and you want to earn $1,000 sports betting a month. That means you have to place 19 bets a day. So this sheet will be in the description. You can play with it, stuff like that. You can make a copy of it. You can download it to Excel, whatever. So if you want to make $2,000 a month, you can either place 38 bets a day, or you can increase your unit size to $100 and still place 19 bets a day, right? So kind of when I started positive EV betting, I was betting $25 and stuff like that. As I made more and more money, my bankroll grew, started to bet bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where I'm slamming stuff left and right and making a ton. And that's really, what your objective should be as a sharp bettor. So NFL bets we already have locked in. We got the Chiefs Colts over 48.5, right? And then we have under 20.5 first half points in Ravens Patriots. Let's make some money.